Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Steve Ballmer!
Thank you. Congratulations. Thanks. Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Thanks. Thank you very much. Well, thank you. Thanks, guys, very, very much. Lady, I guess, is the name of our TechEd 2009 song. I am incredibly excited to have a chance to be here with you today and to talk a little bit about where things stand, I think, in our industry, what we see happening over the next several years. I want to share my enthusiasm with you about the future of information technology, and I particularly want to get you just a little excited about some of the things that we've got coming from Microsoft. Surprise, surprise. Before I do all that, I want to start on a, let me call it a little bit more down note. It's not my personality usually to start on a down note, but I think we have to be realistic and really accept the fact that we are in a very unusual, one in a lifetime type of economic change. And I want to talk about what I think that change means for all of us who are in the IT and software development game. Our economy in the U.S., and I'd say in many senses the global economy, is in the process of resetting. There was too much money borrowed by businesses and consumers. That money was being used to fund capital expenditure. 50% of capital expenditure in the U.S. goes into IT. So when that money went away, guess what happened? IT spending is coming down. That money that people were borrowing against their homes was being used to pay for PCs and flat panel displays. And so we get, if you will, some air coming out of the economy. And the economy is resetting. Economies worldwide grow because of population growth, productivity growth, innovation, and the growth in debt. Our global economy is not going to grow from debt over the next 5 and 10 years. So our economies are going to have to grow far more fueled on productivity advances and innovation than ever before. What that says, in many senses from an IT perspective, is with the economic reset, we're going to get something of a contraction in the technology business. But, because the next wave of growth has to come from productivity and innovation, we're also going to get an opportunity as an industry to really play a starring role in economic recovery. I think people in this room understand better than anybody that the source of a lot of productivity growth in business actually comes from information technology. In fact, if you look at the statistics on at least the U.S. economy, it's probably fair to say that IT accounted for over 100% of all the productivity improvement in the U.S. economy over the last 20 years. When it comes to innovation, Is our industry going to keep coming? Are we going to keep delivering good stuff? You bet. Yes, there's a reset, but there's not a reset in innovation. There may be a little less R&D money being spent and a little bit less venture capital. But the amount of things that our industry is going to create over the next 3, 5, 10 years, new user interfaces that respond to your voice, to your gestures, to your intent, that's going to happen. Innovations in the way people communicate and collaborate. Innovations in devices, phones, PCs, TVs. We see so much opportunity with the advances in both hardware and what all of us can do at home, at school, in society, and in business to drive innovation is very important. In fact, I think, in a sense, in some industries, even innovation in non-IT industries will depend on IT innovation. When people talk about the future of healthcare and pharmaceutical research is being transformed by new approaches in computer modeling, energy science, climate science. Innovations in those industries are being fueled by the next generation of scientific computing and large-scale modeling. So despite the fact we're going through a reset as an economy and as an industry, the future growth in the world depends ever more on information technology for what it brings in productivity and innovation in and its own right and what we bring to other industries. So I am actually quite optimistic despite the fact that this is a tough time. And I think for all of you who've chosen careers in information technology, despite the tough times, you should be able to go home every night and say, I know I've made the right choice. If there's just one skill worth having in the year 2009, it's skills in software development, programming, and information technology. And so for everybody who comes to a TechEd, for all of the people who will watch TechEd over the webcast, I'd say you've made the right choice. But all of us have to dig down now and do the work to drive productivity and innovation in the businesses and customers that we serve. As we think about it, then, of course, my theme is IT actually matters today more than ever. I remember this article that got written at the end of the dot-com bubble. Does IT matter? It was in, I don't know, some Harvard Business School magazine. And of course the answer was IT matters. Today, IT matters more than ever. Like I said, productivity and innovation. I do think that we're going to have new pressures, though, on all of us in information technology. Throughout my whole time at Microsoft, I think it's fair to say that IT departments have been under pressures to do more with less. Do more with less. Do more with less. Many of you are vendors serving IT departments. I'm sure you're constantly under pressure to do more with less. Actually, maybe in this economy, we're all going to be under pressure to, with less, do more. I think the dominant theme for the next several years is going to be on cost, cost, cost. And I actually think we as a company, and you as our partners in using these products, have more and more tools that we can give our customers to save money.